Hi and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I will be sharing what I made for my family for dinner in the past week. If this is the type of content you like, I would really appreciate it if you can click like and subscribe below. And with all that said, let's get into the video.
You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better.
First off is bacon mac and cheese. For this recipe you'll need cheese, bacon lardons, an onion, butter, pasta, flour and some tomatoes. Let's get cooking. I'm going to start off by frying the bacon lardons and onion until the onion is translucent. I'll then be adding my butter, flour and milk to form a white sauce, finishing it off by adding the cheese.
To be silly, baby, dance the night away. I'll kick my shoes off if I want. Let yourself be free and maybe you will find that there is more to life than being pretty. Honey, let's just face it. Baby, let your head down, be a little wilder. Baby, kick your shoes off, you don't have to hide it. Baby, let your head down, be a little wilder. Baby, kick your shoes off, don't hide it. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to be wilder. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to be wilder. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to.
So as you can see, I've been adding salt, pepper and some mixed herbs to the mixture just to give it a bit more flavor. The general recipe for a white sauce is 25 ml butter to 25 ml flour to 200 ml milk, but I just kind of eyeball it until it's the right consistency.
You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better.
Now I'm just going to put the pasta in boiling water and cook it until it is al dente, at which time I will be mixing it with my bacon cheese mixture. I'm just chopping up the little tomatoes with my little helper over there. I will be putting the tomatoes on top of the dish, covering it in even more cheese and then putting it in a 200-degree oven for about 20 minutes until the cheese is nice and bubbly, and then the dish is ready to serve.
You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better, 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 better.
Approximately 20 minutes later in a 200-degree oven and dinner is served. I normally serve this with the side of salad, as this is obviously quite rich. Moving on to dinner number 2, which is Kerry Whelpdale's harissa fish stew. For this you'll need some stock, tomato puree, garlic, harissa paste, chickpeas and of course fish. Let's get cooking. In Kerry's video, she served this meal with a side of ciabatta bread to dip into the sauce. Unfortunately, I didn't have any ciabatta bread in the house, but I did have this bread mix, so I simply mixed it up, made it into individual rolls and served it to the family. Here I'm just greasing the pan with some butter, following up with some flour just to ensure that the bread rolls don't stick. Now I'm going to add the stock, tomato paste, harissa and garlic to the dish, as well as my chickpeas and my fish, following up with the honey, which is a secret ingredient I forgot to mention earlier, as well as some salt and pepper to taste.
I just wanna hear you say that you want me to. I told you I can't get you off my mind. Come let me hold you now. I wanna lay in your arms. Come let me love you now. Yeah, you're the one that I want. I wanna stay here.
The only place where I deviated from Kerry's original recipe slightly is here, where I've actually taken a bit of the sauce, added some corn flour just to thicken it up.
I wanna stay here with you.
Show me what it's like to be circling among the clouds. Because without you by my side, I would be stuck here on the ground.
And dinner is served with a side of yogurt and some coriander. Next up is some breaded chicken with a side of sweet veg and broccoli. For this you'll need some breadcrumbs, plain flour and egg, chicken breast fillets, butternut squash, carrots, sweet potatoes and of course broccoli. I'll be starting off by prepping my carrots, sweet potato and butternut squash and putting it in an oven-proof dish. I'll then be spraying it with some fry light, or the Aldi equivalent in this case, as well as covering it with some golden syrup. I'll then be putting it in an oven for about 45 minutes at around 200 degrees.
You can take me high. I can see the sun staring at you when you make that smile. I'm moving closer to you now. I can't get close enough somehow. And I was down until you saved me, until you set me free. My eyes were closed, now I see clear as day. And I just wanted to say that you can take me high. Feels like I can fly. I don't need anybody, I don't need anybody else. No one will ever take me, no one will ever take me away from you. I promise I will hold on to you. I don't know what I'd do without you. Without you. You can take me high.
Next I'm going to work on my chicken by first flattening it so that it's an equal thickness throughout. I'll then be dipping it first in flour, then in egg, and then in my homemade breadcrumbs. I'd like to point out that my breadcrumbs were actually made incorporating some garlic granules as well as some mixed herbs. If you buy a store-bought brand, you might want to add these just to get additional flavor. I'll start off by frying it in some oil and butter and then finishing it off in the oven.
Every night I'm going on the grid, texting back, I want you. Hit you up, I'm on the other side. I miss you, miss you. Take you off, I came here way too strong. Cannot keep it low key. got me drugged, your pheromones hit the roof. Bottle your taste. It's really a bad reception out there. Where you heading? Why ain't gravity pulling you in closer to me? I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now. I've lost you, telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now. Found myself in between the lines, underneath your bed sheets. It started fun, but now I'm in too deep into this flow. A zero-sum game that I will lose. There's no zipping past it. Every time you walk away from me, I want you. How could I want you more? Or when did I lose my perspective? Oh God, have I lost it? But my cravings for you so shameless, can't get enough. I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now. I've lost you.
And here's the final result. Enjoy!
Telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now.
Moving on to meal number 3, which is a creamy tomato pasta bake. For this you'll need some soft cheese, parmesan, tin chopped tomatoes, balsamic vinegar, sugar, tomato puree, of course pasta, actual fresh tomatoes, as well as garlic and a red onion. For this recipe, I tend to use all those tomatoes that are just that little bit too soft to use in a salad. So I'm going to start off by chopping them up, adding the onion and garlic, and start frying them off on the stove. I'll also be adding my tinned tomatoes, tomato paste, balsamic vinegar and sugar, and just let it bubble away for a bit.
But you're off my radar now. I've lost you, I've lost you. I keep on looking for you.
I wake up from the sunshine on my face, so dehydrated, don't know what to say. Who's sleeping by my side? What did I do last night? Can someone make this headache go away? Yesterday was supposed to be quiet, being to myself and sit in silence, until I got a call. My friend showed up at my door. They wanted me to go out for a while. We were dancing in the dark, with a feeling in our eyes. Felt like we
I'll also be adding some salt, pepper, dried mixed herbs, as well as some fresh basil. This is also actually a really nice one-pot meal. As I added the water from the tomato tins earlier to the dish, I can actually just add the pasta so that it can absorb that additional water. At this time I'll also be adding my Parmesan cheese, and once everything is reduced I'll be adding the soft cheese as well.
Can someone make this headache go away? We were dancing in the dark, with a feeling in our eyes. Felt like we had it all. We were dancing in the dark.
Then I just tend to serve this with some more fresh basil over the top, as well as some freshly grated Parmesan.
with a feeling in our hearts. It felt like we.
Moving on to the final dish in this video, which is mini meatloaf served with some mixed veg and baby potatoes. I'm going to start off by finely chopping an onion, but if your kids don't like onion in their food, I would recommend putting it in a food processor or blender. I'll then be adding the onion to my mince, as well as an egg and breadcrumbs. As mentioned earlier, my breadcrumbs were homemade, so if you're using a store-bought brand, I would recommend adding some garlic granules as well as mixed herbs.
Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just getting ready? Let me be honest, I don't know a single thing that I haven't done to make you notice me. Let me be real here. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this.
Now I'm just going to take the little potatoes, cover them with fry light, or again the LD equivalent, some salt and pepper, and putting them in a 200-degree oven for around 10 minutes. At this point I'll be forming my mini meatloaves, adding them to the tray and baking the whole tray for a further 25 minutes.
I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong with me? I need somebody to love. Oh, oh, nah, nah. I don't know what I could say to convince you to hang around.
I'm just going to top all the mini meatloaves off with some tomato ketchup.
Myself, 'cause you don't listen, babe. But still you got me missing you. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around. It's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me.
So as this meal was actually cooked at the end of the week, I didn't have any fresh veg left over. So I literally went through my freezer and took all the little bits of frozen veg that I had available and just mixed them all up and boiled them according to the packet instructions.
I need somebody to love. Oh, oh, nah, nah.
And there you go, dinner is served. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe below. Bye!